I plunged the carving knife into the turkey's breast that Christmas Eve, but it was my father's heart I was really slicing open. "Aurora, you're the family disappointment," he slurred, his voice cutting through the Bing Crosby crooning on the stereo like a chainsaw through tinsel. In that split second, as the room held its breath, I smiled and said, "Then let's carve up the truth. Dad, starting with the body you buried in the backyard 20 years ago." The silverware clattered like distant gunfire. My mother gasped, her wine glass tipping over in slow motion, staining the white tablecloth crimson. My brother Ethan, ever the golden child, choked on his mashed potatoes, his eyes bulging like he'd seen the ghost we all pretended wasn't rattling our chains. That was the hook, the detonator I'd wired for years, and it blew the facade of our perfect Midwestern life to hell. We were the Harrisons of Elmwood Heights, Illinois, a slice of apple pie Americana in the shadow of Chicago's sprawl.
Dad,
Victor Harrison, was the kingpin of Harrison Realty, flipping foreclosed McMansions into million-dollar dreams for soccer moms and tech bros fleeing the city. Mom, Lydia, played the gracious hostess, her days filled with junior league brunches and Zoloft-fueled book clubs. Ethan, 3 years my senior, was the heir apparent, Wharton grad, now climbing the ladder at Goldman Sachs, with a fiancée named Tiffany who looked like she'd been extruded from a Barbie mold. And me, Aurora Harrison, the black sheep, the dropout artist scraping by on Etsy sales of moody watercolors, crashing at their colonial revival manse because my loft in Wicker Park rent was unrealistic. But beneath the holly jolly veneer, our family was a powder keg soaked in kerosene. It started 20 years ago, when I was 8 and Ethan 10. Dad's real estate empire was teetering on the edge of the 2008 crash's precursor, a shady deal with a Chicago mob-connected developer named Rocco Vitale. Dad cooked the books, inflated appraisals, laundered kickbacks through fake flips. When the feds started sniffing, it wasn't Dad they pinned it on. It was me. Or rather, the lie they pinned on me. I didn't know the details back then. Just fragments, Dad's late nights, Mom's pill bottles multiplying like rabbits, Ethan's sudden bedwetting. One autumn evening, as leaves turned the backyard to fire, I found Dad in the tool shed, sweat-soaked and wild-eyed, wrestling with a tarp-wrapped bundle the size of a man. "Aurora, baby, you didn't see this," he whispered, his breath reeking of bourbon. I nodded, too scared to cry, and ran inside to hide under my quilt patterned with shooting stars. The next day, the cops came. Not for the body. Rocco Vitale's disappearance was ruled a heart attack. Body cremated before autopsy.
no,
For the embezzlement. Dad framed it as my early entrepreneurial spirit I'd borrowed from the family safe for art supplies.
he said.
Juvenile record sealed. But the stain?
Permanent.
I was the thief. The liar. Shipped off to a fancy boarding school on a scholarship that was really hush money. Ethan got the pats on the back. The legacy. Mom got the denial. Dad got the empire. Rebuilt on my silence. I carried that secret like a tumor, growing malignant through high school whispers, college dropout shame, failed gallery shows. Every "why can't you be more like Ethan" was a scalpel twist. But I documented it all, emails glimpsed on Dad's unlocked laptop, Rocco's widow's anonymous tip to a PI I'd hired on credit, Ethan's complicit nods during family talks. The betrayal wasn't just Dad's, it was a syndicate. Ethan knew, had helped bury the evidence, literally. Mom suspected, chose blindness. They all flipped on me when the heat came, sacrificing the daughter for the dynasty. By Christmas 2025, I'd had enough. I'd spent the fall compiling the dossier, forged docs, witness statements from Vitali's old crew, even a soil sample from the backyard that screamed unmarked grave. No body, but enough to bury them. My reply at dinner wasn't impulse. It was ignition. The silence stretched,
Taut as a bowstring.
Dad's face drained of color, his fork suspended over the turkey like Excalibur in reverse. "What the hell are you talking about, girl?" he growled, but his eyes darted to the French doors, where snow muffled the world outside. Ethan recovered first, slamming his napkin down. "Aurora, you're drunk. Sit down before you embarrass yourself more." Tiffany tittered nervously, her diamond earrings catching the chandelier light like warning flares. Mom whimpered, "Please."
Not now.
"It's Christmas." I laughed, a sound like breaking glass. "Christmas? This family's been celebrating on a corpse since Y2K. Remember Rocco,
Dad?
the partner who vanished after you two argued over that Evanston high-rise? I was 8, but I saw you drag him out back." Ethan held the flashlight. Ethan shot up, chair scraping linoleum. "You're insane. That was a raccoon or something."
Dad.
"Tell her. Shut up. Both of you." Dad's voice cracked like thunder. But it was fear, not fury. He was the master manipulator, the man who'd charm lenders while shorting widows' homes. But I had his number now. "Aurora, whatever you've cooked up, it's libel. You'll ruin us." "Ruin," I echoed, circling the table like a shark. "You ruined me first. The juvie record that tanked my scholarships, the whispers that made me drop out, I took the fall for your greed. And you let me rot." The room spun into chaos. Mom bolted for the kitchen, retching into the sink. Tiffany texted furiously under the table, probably her lawyer daddy. Ethan lunged for me, but I sidestepped, grabbing my phone from the sideboard. "Smile," I said, hitting record. "This is going viral." Harrison Horror Show. Dad's mask slipped then, the cunning glint I dreaded. "You think you're smart?
Kid?
I've got dirt on you too. That little side hustle with the pills?
Yeah.
I know about your dealer in Pilsen." It was a lie. He was bluffing, flipping the script like always. But it stung, dredging up my own dark spiral, the oxy I popped after a bad breakup, the Nero D that landed me in rehab on their dime. Controversial? Hell yes. I'd self-medicated the trauma they inflicted, and now he'd weaponize it. I held steady. "Post it, Dad. Let the world see the hypocrite preaching family values while burying bodies. Or we talk." Privately, he deflated, gesturing to the study. As we filed in, leaving the feast congealing, I felt the first thrill of vengeance, not sweet, but sharp, like swallowing razor blades. This was just the appetizer. The real feast was coming. The study was Dad's sanctum, mahogany walls lined with first editions he never read, a globe bar stocked with single malt lies. He poured scotch with trembling hands, offering me a glass I declined. Ethan hovered by the door. Fists clenched, Mom trailed in, clutching a rosary like it could exorcise the truth. "All right, Aurora," Dad sighed, sinking into his leather throne. "What do you want? Money? A fresh start in California?" I perched on the desk's edge, dossier folder fat in my lap. "Justice. You confess. To the feds. the family, the world. Ethan too, he was 10, old enough to know better. Ethan snorted. I was a kid, brainwashed by you. The drama queen even then. Brainwashed. I flipped open the folder. Sliding photos across. Blurry Polaroids from the shed. Ethan's small hand on the flashlight. Or complicit. You got the Ivy League ride, because I was the villain. Tiffany's daddy wouldn't touch a fraud son. Mom sobbed. Aurora.
Please.
We're all we've got. That's the lie you've sold, I countered. But secrets fester. Rocco had a daughter, Elena. She's spent decades chasing ghosts. What if she learns her dad's mulch in our rose garden? Dad's eyes narrowed. The antagonist awakening. He'd always been 2 steps ahead, charming the DA after my theft, gaslighting Mom into therapy.
Now.
He leaned forward, voice silk over steel. And if I don't, you go down too. Accomplice after the fact. That backyard dirt? On your hands as much as mine. It was his first flip, twisting my witness into guilt. Controversial decision. Fight dirty or fold. I hesitated, the room's tension coiling like smoke. Ethan smirked, seeing the crack. But I was done folding. Then let's dig it up. Tonight. Prove there's nothing there. The gauntlet thrown. Dad blanched. Ethan paled. Mom crossed herself.
Outside.
The snow thickened, burying Elmwood Heights in white oblivion. We bundled up, coats over cocktail dresses, boots crunching virgin powder. The backyard stretched to the property line, edged by evergreens strung with lights that mocked our farce. Dad led, shovel from the garage biting earth like accusation. First spadeful, loamy soil, worms writhing. Second roots, unyielding. Ethan sweated despite the cold, glancing at his Rolex. This is stupid. Let's call it. No, I snapped.
Dig.
Deeper. The 3rd foot yielded pebbles. Then fabric. A scrap of denim. Faded blue. Rocco's jeans? Or coincidence? Dad froze. Shovel trembling.
See?
Nothing. But I saw the fear. Raw and real. We hit pay dirt at 4 feet, not bones, but a rusted lockbox, padlocked shut. Dad's face crumpled.
That's
old tools. Bullshit. I snatched the shovel, prying it free. Inside, ledgers. Yellowed with falsified deeds, a pinky ring engraved RV forever, cash bundles, crisp as confession. Ethan lunged. Give me that. We grappled in the snow, dossier scattering like confetti. Mom wailed from the patio. Dad watched, calculating his next flip. I need Ethan in the gut, scrambling back with the ring. Game over. This goes to Elena Vitali. And the Tribune. Dad's voice cut through. Wait. He was on his knees, snow soaking his slacks. I'll confess. But not public. Private restitution.
to you.
To her. The offer hung. Polarizing. Mercy or manipulation. I tasted power. Bitter as bile. One condition. Ethan digs the real grave. Admits his part. Ethan spat snow. Screw you. Rory. You're the monster here. Monster. The word echoed my nightmares.
Was I?
Avenging betrayal with betrayal? The line blurred in the blizzard. We trudged inside, dripping defeat. That night, as carols mocked from the speakers, I locked myself in the guest room, My old prison. Sleep evaded. Instead, plans fermented. Dad's confession was step one. The real revenge? Exposing the flips. The lies. Forcing them to live my shame. Dawn broke gray. A Christmas morning, a corpse itself. Gifts unopened under the tree. Stockings limp. Downstairs. Dad waited with coffee. Eyes hollow. I called my lawyer. We're turning ourselves in. Quietly. Quietly. I scoffed.
No.
Full press conference. Let the world judge. He nodded. Broken. But Ethan? Absent. His room empty. Tiffany's Mercedes gone. A note. Can't let you destroy us. Evidence is planted. Your prints on everything. Run while you can. The second flip. My brother. The coward. Framing me again. Cunning bastard. I laughed. Maniacal. The game escalated. I bolted to my laptop. Uploading scans to a dead man's switch. Dossier drops to media.
Elena.
Feds if I didn't check in.
Then.
Out the door. Snowmobile from the garage roaring to life. Destination. Ethan's Chicago Pi de Terra. Time to flip back. The drive was a white-knuckle blur. 90 a ribbon through drifts. My phone buzzed. Mom's texts. Come home. Forgive, ignored. Elena's number. From my PI. Unanswered.
Yet.
Ethan's loft overlooked the loop. All glass and arrogance. I buzzed up. Badge from a forgotten realty open house granting entry. He answered shirtless. Hungover. Tiffany cowering behind. Rory? How? I shoved past. Ring glinting in my fist. Your note's cute. But I know your tells. The safe, behind the Warhol knockoff. He blocked me. Muscles from Soul Cycle tensing. Get out. Or I call security. Call them. Tell them your dad's a murderer. You're an accessory. Tiffany gasped. Ethan sneered. And you're the junkie daughter. Who believes the family fuck-up? The third flip. Personal. He knew my weaknesses. Weaponized them. We circled the kitchen island. Carrera, marble gleaming like ice. You held the light. Ethan. 10 years old. But you chose sides. Kid loyalty, he roared. Dad said it was a game. Protect the family. Family? I hurled the ring. It skittered into a vent. You got everything. I got chains. He grabbed my wrist. Twisting. Pain flared. But I headbutt him. Nose crunching. Blood sprayed his. Not graphic. Just real. Tiffany screamed, dialing 911. Sirens wailed distant as I fled downstairs. Heart pounding. Back in Elmwood. Dad paced the foyer. Ethan called. Said you're unhinged. Unhinged. I brandished my bruised arm. He's running. With the originals. Mom emerged, eyes red. Aurora. Stop. This revenge, it's destroying you. Destroying. The word pierced. Was she right? My quest. Born of betrayal. Birthing monsters. Controversial. Vengeance as poison pill. But no retreat. I rallied. Where's the deed to the backyard? Transfer it to Elena. Symbolic restitution. Dad hesitated. Then nodded. Done. His flip to ally? Or ploy? Evening fell. Family fractured. We gathered not for turkey remnants, but takeout pizza in the den. TV droning Fox News holiday fluff. Tension simmered. Unspoken accusations bubbling. Then, the doorbell. Elena Vitali, mid-40s, sharp-suited, flanked by two suits feds. My PI tip had landed. Aurora Harrison, she said, voice gravel and grief. Heard you found my father's ring. I ushered her in. Dossier proffered. Dad stood, ashen. MS. Vitali. Save it, she snapped. I've waited 20 years. Feds have your books. Ethan burst in then, wild-eyed. Originals clutched.
Wait.
It's all fake. Aurora forged.
Lies.
But the room cleaved, Mom to Dad, Tiffany to Ethan, Elena to me.
No.
She eyed me cool. You witnessed? As a child, I nodded. Buried it for them. Her gaze softened, then hardened. Kids don't bury men. Accomplice? The accusation landed like shrapnel. Polarizing climax. Was I victim or villain? Ethan pounced.
See?
She's lying. Feds cuffed him mid-lunge. Originals seized. Dad confessed on the spot. Voice breaking. I did it. For the family. Mom collapsed, whispering, God forgive. Elena turned to me. You could have spoken sooner. So could you, I retorted. But we both carried silence. As blue lights painted the snow red, Ethan glared. This isn't over. Rory.
It was.
Or was it? The squad cars carved ruts in the driveway, their cherries pulsing like infected wounds against the night. Elena lingered on the porch as the feds bundled Dad and Ethan into separate vehicles, conspiracy charges pending. White collar cuffs for now. Mom trailed them, a ghost in her robe, murmuring Hail Marys to the wind. Tiffany peeled out in her Beamer, tires spinning slush, bound for her daddy's penthouse legal fortress. You did good, Elena said finally, lighting a parliament with a Zippo-etched RV. Smoke curled, acrid angel wings. But this? She nodded at the circus. It'll eat you alive. I hugged myself, the cold seeping through my sweater like regret. Better than choking on it, she chuckled. Bitter. Spoken like someone who's never lost a father to ambition. Handing me a card. Vitali Investigations. Chicago, she added. Call if you need. Debts get paid. Her SUV vanished into the flurry, leaving me alone with the husk of home. Inside, the tree lights blinked mockery, ornaments swaying like hanged men. I poured a tumbler of Dad's Glenfiddich. Neat. And toasted the empty room. To flips and falls. Sleep came fitful. Dreams of shovels and spotlights. Morning brought CNN tickers. Illinois real estate mogul charged in cold case linked to 2005 disappearance. No names yet. Sealed indictments, but the vulture circled. By noon, my phone was a war zone. Reporters. Distant cousins. Ethan's fiancé's blocked number unblocked to scream. You bitch. He lost everything. Everything. The word mocked. What had I gained? A viral moniker, the daughter who dug up Dad, and a subpoena to testify. Mom checked into a facility upstate. For rest, her note read. Neutral. I drove to the city. Wicker Park, my bolt hole. The loft smelled of turpentine and takeout. Canvases stacked like accusations. First act, email blast to my subscribers. New series, Family Graves. Originals drop next week. Monetize the mess. Controversial? In the influencer age. Catharsis, cash checks. But vengeance whispered deeper. Ethan was out on bond, lawyered to the hilt.
Dad. 2.
The empire in receivership. Their flips weren't done. Mine neither. Week 1 post-Christmas blurred, depositions in a federal holdover smelling of bleach and bureaucracy. Elena prepped me. Her office a shrine to unsolveds, walls papered with Polaroids. A Vitali family portrait faded at the edges. "Your dad's a snake," she said over bad coffee. Flipped on my old man for a cut of the Loop Casino deal.
But you?
You're the wild card. Wild card. I liked it. He'll plea. Bury it deeper. She shook her head. Not if I exhume. Got a warrant for the backyard. The dig was scheduled for Friday. Media cordon in place. I volunteered as witness. Chain smoking with Elena at the perimeter as backhoes chewed earth. Neighbors gawked from driveways. iPhones aloft. Monster, one yelled. At me?
Them?
Sides formed overnight. Justice for Rocco versus. Innocent until proven. My ex-feed a battlefield. The machine hit anomaly at dusk. Soil compaction. Unnatural. Crew unearthed, not bones. But concrete, poured hasty. Hiding.
What?
A vault door. Rusted shut. Combo lock gleaming mockery.
Dad's doing.
Post facto. Elena's eyes lit. Bingo. We cracked it with bolt cutters. Acrid torch smoke stinging. Inside, not remains, but evidence trove, Rocco's wallet. Bloodied shirt folded neat. A tape recorder with Dad's voice. Victor Harrison here. Rocco. You cross me. You're fertilizer. Jackpot. But as flashbulbs popped, my phone vibrated, unknown. Ethan's voice. Slurry. You happy now? Dad's hanging himself in county. Your fault. The line died. I retched into the snow. Elena steadying. Bait, she murmured. Don't bite. But I did. Drove to the jail. Visitor log signed, sister. Dad looked smaller behind plexi. Orange jumpsuit clownish. Aurora, he croaked. Receiver greasy. Ethan's lying.
But.
The tape. It's doctored. By you. I pressed. Like my jivvy file?
His eyes.
Once steel.
Pooled.
I protected you. From this life. Real estate's bloodsport. Protected. The ultimate flip. Villain to victim. By framing me, letting Ethan shine on my grave, he leaned close. Ethan's the snake. He pushed Rocco that night, kid rage over a slight. I covered for him. Like I'd cover for you. The room spun. Betrayal squared. Not Dad's crime. But Ethan's? The golden boy. 10-year-old murderer? My stomach churned. Proof. His old journal. In the loft safe. Combination your birthday. I laughed. Hysterical. Twist the knife. Why don't you? Believe or not, he said. But end this. For Mom. I left. Mind reeling. Controversial decision. Chase Ethan's ghost or let feds feast. The loft raid was midnight impulse. Ethan buzzed me up, paranoid. Peephole glare. What? Come to gloat. Journal. I demanded. Pushing in. Tiffany gone. Bottles everywhere. Dad says you killed Rocco. He froze. Then roared laughter. Old man's delirium. But yeah. I shoved him. He grabbed me, called me Victor Jr., mocking. Dad finished. Buried. Confession casual. like recounting a bar fight. Why tell me? 'Cause your family. Flawed as fuck. Join or die. Offer. Alliance against dad? Polarizing. Blood over justice? I feigned interest. What's in it? Cut of the remnants. Tiffany's out. Need a partner.
Partner.
The word soured. As he poured shots, I palmed his phone. Snapping safe pics. Combo 0923. My birth date. Inside. Leather tome. Entry scrawled. October 15th, 05 RV.
Dead.
Dad says secret forever.
Proof.
I slipped out mid-toast. Journal clutched. Think on it. I lied. Elena met me at a diner. All-night fluorescent hell. This changes everything, she said, scanning pages. Manslaughter. Not murder. But accessory same. And me, I whispered. Witness or enabler? She squeezed my hand. Survivor. Dawn broke as I crashed. Dreams of fraternal nooses. Wake 2 alerts. Dad's suicide ruled staging. Escape attempt foiled. Ethan's bond revoked. Vengeance plateaued. But tension coiled tighter. Elena's dig yielded shirt DNA. Rocco's. Blood type match. Charges mounted.
Then.
The counterpunch. Anonymous leak to TMZ. My rehab records. Aurora Harrison. Pill-popping perjurer? Side shifted. Fake victim trended. Ethan stewing. Flipping public script. I countered with journal scans. X thread exploding. My brother's confession. The real family monster. War of words. Digital Gettysburg. Subscribers surged. Campuses sold out. But isolation gnawed. Friends ghosted. Fearing taint. Mom called from the clinic. Come see me. Forgive. Forgive? The word burned. I drove north. Adirondack chill mirroring my core. She looked frail in flannel. Knitting needles clicking like accusations. Ethan visited. Said you hate us. Hate, I echoed. I loved enough to carry it. Tears tracked her cheeks. We all did. But love twists dark. Her flip, enabler to empath. What now? Testify true. Let go. Let go. Controversial. Release or reload. Back in Chicago. Elena's office buzzed. Plea deals brewing. Ethan's talking. Immunity for dad. Betrayal cascade. I stormed the lockup. Ethan smug behind glass. Flipped again.
Sis.
Dad takes the fall, I walk. You murdering coward.
Realist.
Like you. Peddling pain for profit. Sting true. My art. My posts. Exploitation? Line blurred. I nodded.
Deal.
But I get the house. His laugh barked. Burn it. I did. Metaphorically. Deed in hand from Dad's gift. I torched the evidence vault on live stream. Flames devouring ledgers. Ring melting prophetic. No more graves. Views hit millions. Polarizing. Catharsis or arson of truth. As embers died. Elena pulled up. Feds want your statement. Final flip loomed. The federal courthouse loomed like a concrete guillotine. Its steps slick with March rain, 3 months since the dig, and Elmwood's spring thaw unearthed more rot. I arrived early. Black dress funeral sharp. Elena at my elbow like a sentinel. Reporters swarmed the barriers. Mics thrusting like bayonets. Aurora, was it worth it? Family first or vendetta? I ignored them. But the question burrowed. Worth it? Dad's empire crumbled. Assets frozen. Ethan's career vaporized. Tiffany's ring returned pawned. Mom's rest stretched indefinite. Funded by Elena's restitution fund. And me? Therapy bills. Nightmare fuel. A Patreon swelling with voyeurs. Vengeance tasted like ash. But I chewed. Inside. The hallway hummed sterile. Witness prep rooms. Coffee urns hissing judgment. Elena handed me water. Stick to facts. No flair. Flair was my armor. Ethan confessed. Dad covered. Eyewitness. She nodded, but her eyes held doubt. Jury loves drama. Don't give him yours. The court convened at 10. Judge Harlan, a grizzled vet with a Dodgers mug, banging gavel like punctuation. Prosecution, Elena's colleague. Sharp as a shiv. Laying out the timeline with PowerPoints that made white-collar crime look like Scarface. Dad first. Shackled but suited. Voice steady. I took responsibility. For my son. Flip to paternal martyr. Jury leaned in. Mom's nodding sympathy. Ethan followed. Boyish charm dial high. I was a child. Manipulated. Tears on cue. Aurora twisted it, jealousy. My cue. On stand. Bible heavy as guilt. I swore truth. October 15th, 2005.
Backyard.
Ethan held light. Dad dragged the body. I saw. Gasps rippled. DA slid journal under nose. Your words? Yes. Voice cracked. But held. Cross-exam. Ethan's silk-stocking attorney. A Fox News regular. MS. Harrison. Your history: juvenile theft. Substance abuse. Reliable? Objection sustained. But damage bloomed. Anger issues, he pressed. This revenge. Profiting off pain? Surviving, I countered. You profited off theirs. Sustained laughter. But jury eyes narrowed. Polarizing seed planted, truth-teller or opportunist. Recess brought chaos, X ablaze with Aurora lies versus. Bury the Harrisons. Elena pulled me aside.
He's baiting.
Stay cool. Cool fled when Mom appeared. Unannounced. Spectral in pearls. Aurora. Recant. For us.
Us.
The syndicate reformed. Too late. Mom. Her hand on mine.
Cold.
Ethan's suicidal. You're doing. Guilt knife twist. I shook free. Resuming stand post-lunch. Afternoon dragged. Forensics on shirt. Blood spatter consistent with struggle. Then Elena's turn. Victim's daughter. DA intoned. MS. Vitali. She took the stand poised. Photo of Rocco, smiling Italian papa, projected huge. My father trusted Victor. Built empires. They killed him for greed. Tears genuine. Jury wrapped. But cross. You profited 2 books. Speaking gigs on this case. Her flip exposed. Avenger turned author. Justice isn't free, she snapped. Court adjourned. Hung jury vibe thick. Outside. Downpour soaked me to bone. Ethan's glare from transport van. Promise of more flips. That night. Motel anonymity. Elmwood too toxic, I scrolled feeds. A DM. Anonymous. Link to audio. Dad's voice. Aurora's unstable. She pushed me to this. Leaked jail call. Painting me saboteur. Rage boiled. I called Elena. It's war. Her sigh crackled. Or peace. Plea incoming. Ethan testifies against Dad. Reduced sentence. Betrayals echo. And me. Key witness. Or character assassin. I chose fire. Next day. Pre-trial motions. I dropped the bomb. Played the audio in chambers. Tampering. DA crowed. Ethan's team folded like cheap suits. Plea deal shattered. Full trial set for summer. Spring thawed secrets further. Mom discharged. Moved in with distant kin in Milwaukee, neutral ground. Her letters came weekly. Healing starts with forgiveness. I burned them, but saved ashes for collage. My art surged. Grave goods series. Abstracts of ledgers and rings. Sold at a Bucktown gallery to whispers and applause. The critics called it raw. Controversial. Code 4, watch this girl burn. Elena and I met for drinks at the Violet Hour. Speakeasy dim, with craft cocktails veiling cracks. You're winning, she toasted. Am I? Gin bloomed bitter. Ethan's rotting. Dad's broken. But the hole in me? Wider. She leaned in. Smoke-scented. Vengeance is vampire. Feeds. Never fills. Her wisdom. Hard one. But as we parted, her card felt heavier, backside. A number, if you need out.
Out.
The word tempted. May brought heat wave. Court a sweatbox. Jury selection dragged. Blue-collar dads eyeing me wary. White women split on family loyalty. I dodged them all. But one juror, mid-40s. Realtor badge pinned, smiled my way. Ally? Or plant? Trial proper ignited June solstice. Sun baking asphalt to tar. Opening. DA's fire. A dynasty built on death. Defense. Tragic mistake. Covered in panic. Witness parade. PI's testimony on my dossier.
Airtight.
Then. Curve. Rocco's widow. Elena's mom. Frail on cane. Victor promised security. Delivered a void. Jury wept. But Cross unearthed her flip, accepted hush money years back. Murmurs. No one's clean. My recall to stand. MS. Harrison. Motive. Defense probed. Resentment? For not being the son. Survival. I shot. For being the scapegoat. Exhibit A. My juvie file. Unsealed. Theft to fund. Art. Snickers. I met their eyes. Theft to fund silence. Theirs. Gavel banged recess. Hallway ambush. Ethan's attorney. Whispering. Settle. Drop charges. We bury your dirt. Temptation serpent.
No.
Evening war room with Elena. Strategy maps. Wine stains. They're desperate, she grinned.
Push. Push I did.
Next day. Forensic wrap. Journal authentic. Handwriting match, Ethan's. Defense crumbled. Dad took stand. Flip finale. I confess fully. Protect my children no more. Tears flowed. Jury swayed. But Ethan? Refused stand. Invoking fifth. Cowardice incarnate. Closing argument scorched. DA's justice delayed. Defense's mercy for mistakes. Deliberation started noon. Me in witness lounge. Chain-smoking menthols. Hours ticked. 4. Verdict at 6.
Guilty. Both.
Manslaughter Ethan. Accessory Dad. Sentences TBD. Courtroom erupted. Cheers.
Sobs.
Elena hugged fierce. You did it.
Outside.
Rain again cleansing? Mom waited under awning. Ethan shackled beside. Eyes dead. Proud, he spat. Relieved, I said. Dad nodded from transport. Forgive. Controversial cliff. Yes or no? I walked away. Elena's arm link. But the twist brewed. Unseen. Summer sweltered post-verdict. Chicago a steam bath of Lake Michigan humidity and unresolved heat. Sentencing loomed September. A guillotine shadow over my days. I sublet the loft, too haunted, crashing at Elena's spare in Logan Square. Her place a bunker of case files and Chianti bottles. Roomies, she joked, but her eyes held gratitude's weight. We'd bonded in the blaze. 2 daughters digging same grave. Public frenzy peaked. Podcasts dissected the Harrison haunt. True crime TikToks minted me anti-hero. Subscribers begged sequels. I demurred. Painting instead, canvases of fractured families. Sold anonymous at auctions. Money flowed. Ironic bomb. But flips lingered. Ethan's appeals filed. Alleging coerced confession via my manipulation.
Dad's too.
Claiming duress from Aurora's vendetta. My name. Poison pill in every motion. Elena laughed over pad thai. They're flailing. But watch your back. Back watched by a PI. Mine now. Freelance. Reports trickled. Ethan jailhouse allies. Whispers of hit on witnesses. Hyperbole? Or threat? Mom's visit started tentative. Coffee at Intelligentsia. Her hands wringing napkins. Therapy's good, she'd say. Learning to see my part. Enabler's euphemism. And forgive mine? I'd probe. You're my girl, she'd evade. Flip soft. Maternal net. August heat broke with storms. Thunder rattling Elena's windows like divine applause. That night, my phone shattered silence. Blocked. Dad's voice from minimum security. Aurora. Need to see you. Unmonitored. Suspicious.
Why? Truth.
The real one. Real. Always another layer. I agreed. Meet at neutral ground, a park off Lakeshore Drive. Benches facing choppy waves. He arrived hobbled. Ankle monitor beeping. Khakis creased prison sharp. You look well, he said. Awkward. Surviving, I echoed old script. He nodded, pulling envelope from jacket. Read this. Then decide. Inside. Letters. Yellowed. Rocco's hand. To VH, partner. Not threats. But please. Victor. The skimp's killing me. Feds closing. Take the fall.
Fall.
The flip origin. Rocco framing Dad? Or mutual? Read on, Dad urged. Next, Ethan's journal addendum. Dated post-confession. Rory didn't know. Rocco attacked Dad first. I just finished.
Blur.
Villainy redistributed. So, you protected Ethan. Again.
No.
His voice cracked. Protected you. From knowing your brother's capacity.
Capacity.
Monster gene. Familial? My gut twisted. And the burial? My witness? Trauma bond. Thought it'd fade.
Fade.
Lies we tell. Why now? Sentencing. If I flip full, name names higher up, leniency. But it implicates you.
Me.
The bomb dropped.
How?
You signed a deed. 2006. Donation to family trust. Covers the backyard pour. Memory flickered. Coerced signature. For college fund. Accomplice Inc. I stood. Envelope crumpling. You bastard. Aurora. Storm broke then.
Rain lashing.
I fled to Elena's. Soaked confession in tow. She scanned.
Cursing Italian.
Plausible deniability. But jury won't buy. Jury, I paced. Sentencing judge. Mercy play. She poured grappa. Counter, expose the chain. Mob ties. Vitali's crew.
Chain.
Pull one. Unravel all. Controversial. Widen net. Or clip wings. I chose widen. Anonymous tip to DA. Harrison Vitali ledgers linked to outfit remnants. Feds swarmed. Elena's phone exploding. You're stirring hornets. Hornets stung first. Slashed tires on my rental. Brick through gallery window. Snitch. Ethan's reach. Jailhouse long arm. Fear fermented resolve. Sentencing eve. I visited Ethan. Max now. Barbed wire halo. You're doing? He grinned through plexi. Self-defense. Like old times. Old times and tomorrow. His laugh chilled. Do they? Moms will. Did you see?
Will.
Moms. Revised post-verdict. House to Ethan. Art to charity. Me. Emotional support clause. Therapy mandated. Flip familial. Disinherit the avenger. I laughed back. Burn it. September 1st dawned crisp. Fall's whisper. Courthouse packed. Elena's family in pews. Reporters shoulder to shove. Judge Harlan entered. Dodgers mugs swapped for robe stern. Dad first. 5 years. Supervised release.
Light.
For the flip his named names. Ethan. 10. No parole. Jaw clenched. But eyes on me. Promise. Outside. Media maelstrom. Aurora. Reaction. Vindication, I said. Elena shielding. But vindication soured quick. That night. Elena's. Package unmarked. Inside. Photo me.
8.
Shed door ajar. Back. We all bury. Ethan's? Or deeper. Sleep evaded. Instead. Planning. Revenge arc bent. Not end with cuffs. But exposure total. October, harvest moon. I hosted graveside gallery. Elmwood backyard. Now Elena's by restitution deed. Invite. Press. Survivors. Survivors' kin. Installations. Concrete shards from vault. Journal pages framed. My paintings illuminated by lanterns. Crowd swelled. 200. Wine flowing wary. Elena emceed. From dirt to daylight. I spoke last. Spotlight raw. Betrayals of family business. But truth? Universal. Applause thundered. But mid-toast. Sirens wailed, cops. Raiding on trespass tip. Chaos. Arrests threatened. Flashbangs prepped. Ethan's tip. From cell. Elena lawyered fast, dispersed peaceful. But damage. Headlines, vigilante daughter stunt. Polarizing peak. Hero or harpy. Backlash bit. Gallery dropped me. Patreon dipped. Mom called. Stop. Aurora. You're becoming him. Him. Dad's mirror. Doubt nod. November chill deepened rifts. Elena and I strained her case load balloon from my tip. Mob whispers turning her car to scrap. Sorry, I said over diner eggs. Fight's worth it, she lied. Bruises shadowing.
Then.
The call. Unknown. Mom's voice trembling. Ethan escaped. Coming for you. Escape. Mid-transfer. Guards bribed. His final flip. To Hunter. Tension crested. I barricaded Elena's. PI on speed dial. Night stretched eternal. Shadows assassins. Dawn brought feds. Harrison sighted. O'Hare bound. Relief flooded. Then ebbed. Bound where? Canada? Or deeper vendetta? I pursued. Boarding red-eye to Toronto. Hunch. His Wharton buds. City crisp. Maple leaves blood red. Tracked him to distillery bar. Overlooking Niagara mist.
Ethan.
He turned.
Scotch in hand.
Rory. Join. No chase. Done running. Want truce.
Truce.
Over bourbon. He spilled. Dad flipped on me in plea. Named me shooter. Truth layered. So now. Disappear. You too. Offer. Run together. Black sheep pact. Controversial. Bond or betray. I feigned yes. Slipped roofie in his pour. As he slumped, I called RCMP. Fugitive. Cuffs clicked satisfying. Why? He slurred. Balance, I whispered. Back stateside. Headlines hailed. Sister sting. Hero again. But Elena met airport wary. Mom's gone. Overdose.
Gone.
Pills. Her old friend. Flip to final. Survivor to suicide. Grief crushed. Funeral small. Milwaukee gray. Empty pews accused. Was it me? Vengeance's collateral. Winter gripped Chicago like a vice. January 2026 winds howling elegies off the lake. Mom's grave. Plot beside forgotten Harrisons. Elmwood Cemetery iron-fenced froze hard. Wreath wilted defiant. I stood vigil alone. Elena's text unread. Grief group tonight?
No.
Solitude suited. A pauper's cape. Dad wrote from pen. Your mother's light dimmed by our shadows. Forgive. Stamp. Return to sender my impulse. But pocketed. Flips fatigued. Ethan's extradition dragged. Canadian red tape tangling. His letters came smuggled. You sold me out. Blood's curse. I burned them. But embers whispered doubt. Art stalled. Canvases blank as absolution. Elena pushed. Channel it. Exhibit solo. Solo. The word echoed isolation. I agreed. Theme final flip. Mirrors shattering reflections. Chains uncoiling to serpents. Opening night. March thaw teasing. Gallery pulsed. Critics. Collectors. Curiosity seekers. Elena anchored bar. Her laugh forced. Sold 3 already. Sales soothed. But eyes hunted threats. Postmom. Paranoia bloomed. Shadows stalkers. Phones tapped. Mid-soiree. Intrusion. Woman. 40s. Sharp bob. Approaching hesitant. Aurora Harrison? Lydia's daughter. Friend? Foe? Yes. Marla Kane. Your mother's book club.
She.
Left this. Envelope. Sealed mom's script. I retreated to back room. Tearing open. Inside. Diary. Entries post-clinic. Aurora's fire consumes us. But I lit the match, ignored signs. Chose denial. Forgive myself?
No.
But you live free.
Free.
Last word underlined thrice. Tears blurred ink. Mom's flip. Guilt to grace. Posthumous. Emerging. I dedicated the show impromptu to Lydia, the silent witness. Applause swelled genuine. Marla lingered. She worried. About the baby.
Baby?
My breath hitched. What? Your niece. Ethan's. Tiffany aborted.
But. Not.
Hiding in Milwaukee.
Niece.
Twist seismic. Life from wreckage. Controversial cradle. I bolted. Elena's weight trailing. Drive north frantic. Snow squalls veiling. Milwaukee address from Marla. Safe house. Women's shelter. Door cracked. Girl. 18. Swollen belly under hoodie. Aunt Rory. Tiffany's eyes. Ethan's jaw. He doesn't know? She shook head. Ran when charges hit. But you're the one who fought.
Fought.
For what? I knelt. Hand on hers. Name, Harper. After Mom's maiden. We talked dawn. Stories spilling. Ethan's charm masking control. Her flight post-engagement bomb. He said you destroy us. Destroyed. Mirror held. I did. But rebuild. She nodded.
Tentative.
Alliance nascent. Back in Chicago. Elena grilled gentle. Keeping.
Yes.
Family redefined. April bloomed fragile. Sentencing appeals crushed. Dad paroled early, good behavior. Named more names. Ethan, 15. Maxed. He called collect. Heard about the kid. Grandkid. Silence stretched.
Harper, I said.
Laughter. Broken.
Fitting.
Flip the script. Script. Our tragedy. Penned in blood and ink. Truce, he asked. Terms, stay away. Reform.
Deal.
Summer healed slow. Harper moved in. Belly rounding. We painted nursery. Murals of stars. No graves. Elena auntie-in-waiting. Her cases lighter. Book de-linked. Daughters of Dust. Dad visited once. Supervised park picnic. Awkward forks in grass.
Harper wary.
Grandpa. He teared. Beautiful. No hugs. But not exchanged. Flip to fragile peace. Birth came August lightning. Girl. Wailing fierce. Name. Aurora Lydia Vitali Harrison. Layers honored. Press sniffed. But I stonewalled. Private victory. Years blurred. Harper's degree. My gallery permanent. Elena's wedding. I made. No drama. Dad's letters regular. Amends Inc. Ethan? Paroled 2030. Vanished North Canada again. Clean slate whispered. One night. 2032. Harper's girl, Lydia Jr., toddling. Asks, why no, Grandpa Ethan? Truth's edge. He flipped bad paths. We chose better. She nods. Sage 3-year-old. Like pancakes. Laughter bubbles. Light piercing you dark. Ending? Not happy. Not tragedy. Gray dawn. Debate eternal. Was revenge redemption or ruin? Reader, you judge. But, for me, in the quiet after storm, it's enough. The family disappointment? No more. Just Aurora, scarred.
Standing.